Hey, what's going on, people? I feel weird right now. This is gonna be back-to-back days where I make a video. I'm not, I'm not used to that, but I have the, you know what they say. You know, when opportunity comes, you don't pass it up. So I have the opportunity to make a video. So I said, why not? This is not gonna be one of my usual videos where I speak about boxing. I am a sports fan, and I have various opinions on a lot of things that are going on in the world of sports. And one of the things that's going on right now that interests me a lot, and people, especially, I won't call them out just yet. I'm not. I'll let them sit around before I call them out and bring them out to Front Street. I'm speaking about the transfer of Silas Redd to USC. It seems like everyone has an opinion, a negative opinion about this kid transferring. Now, my problem with that is I feel like this is it's been magnetized to the point where it's kind of ridiculous, and it's not being fair to Southern Cal or to him and his family, Silas Redd family. The reason I say that is because everybody's saying, I've read blog after blog, I've read article after article, and yes, there are some biased articles out there from major media that put out things that are so ridiculous. So one of the things is that I've been commonly reading is Lane Kiffin is back to his old ways. That's how it all started. Almost every article. Lane Kiffin reached out to the Penn State coach to give him advice about how to weather sanctions. And in that same breath that he started talking to Silas Redd, I'm over here giving you a handshake, and with my other hand I'm reaching into your pocket and taking money, out of your wallet. That type of deal. That's how they made it seem. And that is ridiculous on every level, because even if it is true, let's just explore every option out here right now. Let's just say that is true. Okay, well, he came and gave you advice, and now he's trying to take your best player. Well, what can you do about it? You can't do anything about it, because guess what? Every other college coach around the nation is going to be doing the same thing. And just because you were first in line to try to get something that everybody else is going to want, you're at fault. But since it's Lane Kiffin doesn't have the biggest fan base around the nation. Shall I say in Tennessee? Wow, don't even say Lane Kiffin down in the South. It's over. But anyways, let's talk about what he's doing now. And what he's doing right now with Silas Redd. Lane Kiffin has been doing a phenomenal job at USC. A phenomenal job. Not many coaches around the nation could walk into a program that's going to be sanctioned for a few years, a couple years, come in, keep the nucleus of that team, win, and be in a position to compete, and over and above all else, successfully recruit players coming into a unsanctioned program. Now, let's talk about that situation. When USC was hit by the NCAA, smacked across the face by the book, it was open season for USC players. A bunch of colleges and universities came and talked and talked and talked, and they got whatever they wanted. I didn't see the media talking and bad-mouthing UConn for taking DJ Shoemate, Fidel Hazelton. Those were 5-star blue-chip players that USC had that left the program. I don't have the list in front of me. I didn't want to do that extensive research. What I'm doing here is just for informational purposes and to prove a point. When those players left USC, and it was more than 5 of them, etc., etc., no one across the nation made a big deal out of it. Why? Because it was open season. Because it's fair game. Because it's not USC. But just because USC is USC, and guess what? USC is being coached and led by the most controversial college head coach in the last three to 4 years, Lane Kiffin. It's all of a sudden he's not a good person. He's a jerk. He's an asshole. You know, what kind of a guy goes to a program and tries to steal your best player? I think everybody is gonna do that. And if people are gonna be like, no, everybody's gonna do that. Well, if you're not doing it, you're not trying to win. I mean, why would you not try to improve your whole squad? If your depth lacks in the running back department, and your team is the favorite coming into the season to win the national championship, do you think you're going to address your needs? Of course you're going to address your needs. You won't even think about that shit twice. So, returning to Silas Redd. A bunch of Penn State people are saying, you know what, it's not about the sanctions. It's not about, winning a bowl game. It's about being a nitty lion. Okay, I'll run with that. I'll fine with that. But your dedication doesn't mean anything. People can't separate how to be a fan from how to be somebody logical. You cannot put yourself in other people's shoes. You don't know what that kid is thinking. You don't know, you're doing it, you're saying those things because you're selfish. If you really cared about the kid, which people that are Penn State fans and, fans across the nation would understand that you want what's best for Silas Redd. You want what's best for that kid. He chose Penn State. Joe Powell was there, of course, legendary coach. And then all these things came out. The Sandusky, the whole nine came out. I would be hurt. If I saw this, if I came to a program because of a particular coach, a legend, and I see all of this, of course your opinion is going to change. So just because your dedication is way above and beyond bleed and die blue and white, that doesn't mean that kid's going to feel that way. So he came to Penn State, obviously, because he loves Penn State. But because of certain situations, things are going to change. Heart is going to change. Things are going to change. Your family's opinions about that university is going to change as well. So people don't look at it that way. The well-being of this kid lies on his shoulders. What about if he stays at Penn State? Let's just run with that. He stays at Penn State, he gets hurt, busts his knee, and he doesn't accomplish anything. People are going to look at him like a legend, like he stayed through the whole sanctions, okay, blah, 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 blah. But what's best for this kid right now? If you're considered one of the best running backs in the nation, do you want to stay at a program that's no longer going to get national media attention in the aspect of playing the big games, of having no motivation to play for something, as opposed to you having the opportunity to go to whatever program across the nation, and let's say USC, who USC is a front runner to win a national title? Do you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, especially when you're considered one of the best running backs in the nation, and you have the opportunity to go to a program where they produce NFL draft pick after draft pick? And let's not forget, Southern Cal is HBU, producing one of the best running backs time after time. So you can't criticize the kid for wanting to come to a program like USC. You can't criticize a kid for wanting to get out of that situation, because at the end of the day, your goals, your needs don't match anybody else's. And a lot of people, I think that's where the difference is, where they can't distinguish their own selfishness because they want to keep a kid there as opposed to wanting what's best for the kid. So that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. I'm a sports fan. I roll with my teams, and I play a fair game. When USC players left USC, I was like, you know what? Best of luck to them, man. Because obviously, that's cool. You came here for a reason. Now you're leaving for another reason, which is cool, because I can't put myself in your shoes. I don't want to be selfish and be like, yeah, stay here because I want you here. Everybody's going to say that. But at the end of the day, if you truly care about your players, you're going to let them go where they feel like going. If they want to stay, you know what? You're awesome. If you want to leave, I can understand. But people don't look at it that way. And it's really sad because, nobody ever talks about the good things that Lane Kiffin and USC have been doing the last 2 years. Weathering these sanctions, keep the kids winning. Matt Barkley, staying. That kid just stayed through the whole thing, and now he's on a mission to win a national title. The core group of guys that stay there, it was pretty awesome. And, the kids that came in that committed, even with the sanctions, are also, on a whole different level. Like, it takes much more than heart in a kid to come to a program like that. The coaching, so I really don't see how you're doing something right when America only focuses on your controversy as opposed to your success. A lot of people aren't focusing on USC having the #1 recruiting class right now in the nation, and this is with at least 10 less scholarships than the average university. It's almost mind-boggling how you could be sanctioned yet still stay on top and remain on top and be a favorite to win a national championship. Most programs would have been fell off the radar. They would have been a thing of the past. You remember the USC of 2004, 2003, 2005? Those teams were awesome. Now we're in 2013 and they can't even crack the top 25. Instead of being one of those teams, they've decided to keep it going, which is what USC is about, and what Lane Kiffin and his coaching staff, Ed Orgeron, and his whole, Palomalu as well, don't get credit for. And it's really sad. And getting caught up in the whole mix of Lane Kiffin's hate is Silas Redd. Oh my God, he's going to go play for Lane Kiffin. He wasn't a nitty lion at heart. It's ridiculous. You can't be second guessing the person's will to succeed, and you wanted to, withhold them for selfish reasons. So, oh man, kind of went off on there for a while. I just had to get this out. Had to get it out. Read too many articles, especially from the LA Times, which have a lot of biased reporters. Plachky. It just amazes me. And a lot of people have selfish reasons and just write this propaganda to make a kid look like an enemy when he's just a kid. People forget these kids are an average of 20, 19. The oldest 22 years old. They're still kids. Still kids, man. And it's just pick on me. Come at me. I'm a grown man. So people always like to I had to use that line. I had to use it. And for people who don't know what that line is, you're not a football fan. Everybody that follows college football will know where that's from. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on Silas Redd coming to USC. Kid made a decision for his future and his family, and obviously it's at USC and not Penn State. And I feel comfortable with that. Even if he didn't come to USC and decided to stay at Penn State, it would be the same thing for me, So all in all, those are my thoughts. I'm not here. I'm not on a personal agenda where I have to pick sides and I have to say what other people are telling me. I'm just giving an open opinion of something that I've seen consistently throughout the media the past week. So there's no favoritism here. This is just a straight opinion, giving both sides of the story. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Write your comments below. Give me your opinion of what you think about this media coverage and making this kid look terrible because they question his commitment to Penn State and he's decided to leave USC, which is beyond me. So comment below if you like what I'm talking about. If you like my opinion, subscribe. There's going to be way more consistent videos on a consistent basis now because I have a newfound time on my hands, obviously. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And I look to hear from you guys soon. Take it easy, guys.